Do you think you'll be married forever?
Yes.
Her voice goes up an octave. It's very, very obvious that she is not answering authentically.
Yeah. It was a squeaky sort of answer, wasn't it? Yes, as if...
All right, let's dive into this beast. What we have here is one of Meghan Markle's most bizarre and self-serving interviews to date. It's messy, it's manipulative, it's cringy beyond belief. And if you manage to sit through all 90 minutes of it without your brain melting, congratulations. You've got nerves of steel. But don't worry, I'll break it down for you in a way that actually makes sense, and in a way that isn't sugar-coated by Meghan's hand-picked cheerleaders.
Don't bother me with that one. It's quite obvious, but it's obviously not going to necessarily happen.
I don't think anybody with a functioning frontal lobe would suggest that private jets, having people wait on you, being allowed to bully your staff, allegedly, and using King Charles, then Prince Charles, as an ATM. Oh, that's so hard. Oh, God, get me out of these trenches.
50 Shades of cray-cray. Sometimes a meme sums up a moment in pop culture better than what I ever will be able to. And that is absolutely the right summation of this completely bonkers, completely misleading, completely self-serving interview between the fake Duchess, Meghan Markle, and a woman called Jamie Kern Lima. I don't recommend that you watch the full 90 minutes, folks, because this really did things to my brain. It melted my brain. It exploded my brain. But don't worry, as ever, we've done the public service. And today, Royal Mastermind Angela Levin and Meghan's sister, Samantha Markle, join me to provide the truth about her at times quite vile spin, which includes, no surprises, attacks on the royal family and attacks on the Markle family. But let's kick off with, I think, a summation of just how bad it is that Meghan continues to choose to be interviewed by her BFFs. Because the first question, without a hint of any irony, is a repeat of Tom Bradby in South Africa. Watch.
People also have this question for you is, Meghan, how are you? And are you okay?
That's so kind. I am. I'm better than okay. How are you?
I know you always make it about me. Today, which by the way, I just have to say, you are the most generous friend. You show up for your friends. Today, I just get to talk about you, which I'm excited about. But how are you doing? There's so much going on.
I'm good. There's it's a lot of pinch me moments right now.
Oh, pinch me. Pinch me. Actually, when I'm sitting through that, Angela Levin, I think you need to slap me because, good God, this is actually, I think, the worst example I've ever seen of two narcissists creating a completely false environment to peddle and spread their lies.
This was supposed to be Meghan's truth-telling moment, an intimate sit-down with her BFF Jamie Kern Lima. But instead what we got was a parade of contradictions, fake vulnerability, and an almost desperate attempt to rebrand herself as a victim-saint hybrid. It's the Meghan Markle show all over again, complete with crocodile tears, a bizarre Diana comparison, and, of course, the infamous trenches remark that has left many people fuming.
Well, I don't know Jamie Kern, but I mean, I think that it's the worst thing I've ever seen Meghan do. And I also think that the fact that she's not wearing any makeup is deliberate because she wants to, in this occasion, be the poor one who works so hard and has to get up at 6:30 to clean her teeth and get her clothes on. Oh, because it's so busy in the morning. I mean, that's what we all do, isn't it? I mean, what's so heroic about that? And I just think that not wearing lipstick makes her look as she's working incredibly hard and she's got too much to do and people don't recognize how amazing she is. That's the image she's given me.
Indeed. And there was another reason, though, wasn't there, Sam, for the lack of makeup? Because what was it? One tear, left eye, go. Your sister is an expert in making herself cry on demand.
Exactly. And did you catch this? What really stuck out for me now was hearing, her suck up BFF interviewers, ask her if she was okay, which takes us back to the African poverty thing for the documentary she was doing. And she said verbatim, I'm glad that someone asked me if I was okay, or nobody ever asked me if I was okay. So this felt very scripted. It's like, did she need to tap back into this and say, now make sure you ask me if I'm okay, so I can do the one tear left eye go and say I am. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Of course it was all scripted. I mean, they speak about how they were absolute best mates, don't they? And so they were recreating that moment in South Africa with Tom Bradby, which we will never forget, will we? But I should also point out, by the way, that perhaps for once, actually, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, may have played a bit of a masterstroke here, because, Meghan released this interview when she did to try and overshadow the 14th anniversary celebrations for Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and Prince William, who are in the Isle of Man today. But Catherine, and I know some people are saying, oh, you're getting a little bit excited about this, but look, she's gone. I'm not going to say she's gone blonde. She's gone blondish. And I think Catherine will, thank God, push her dastardly sister-in-law off the front pages today, at least. But anyway, of course, this whole interview is set up to show us just how hard life is for our damsel in distress, Meghan Markle watch.
I think I've seen a lot of things in my life. I have never seen anything like what you go through on a daily basis.
I know.
I have never seen anything like it.
I know.
I think what's so beautiful is when people connect, who are listening or watching, connect with the truth, and they'll know it's true in their soul when they hear and listen to this. And that's what I think is so special. And so
I love that. And I appreciate it because, if it's, the newness of our friendship, you're able to see that and think about the friends I've had for a really long time and their experience of watching it and going, oh my gosh. And then people that I reconnect with all these years later who literally can go, but you're the same.
You're the same.
Like, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And how hard that is.
When you boil it all down, this interview wasn't about authenticity. It was about control. Meghan handpicked the interviewer, controlled the questions, curated the look down to the no lipstick choice, and manufactured emotional beats, the letter, the tears, the marriage squeak.
When I'm like, but I'm the same. But that's not what gets clicks or sells papers, so they need to do something else. But you're like, hey guys, I'm still here doing the same.
Samantha Markle, is that hard for you to watch, this attempt to rehabilitate Meghan Markle's reputation, given what she has done to your family and specifically your father?
See, she's again wanting to get out her truth. And she says, I'm glad you get it. People can see now. Well, she forgets that the world watched. The world watched as she mocked Queen Elizabeth while she was dying of bone cancer. The world watched her totally ice and disregard, our family, our dad through 2 heart attacks and a stroke. The world has watched this. So what does she mean? Now you get it. Yeah, we got it because we all watched. So you can't suddenly act like all of that didn't happen, all of that didn't exist. Like, who's she trying to kid? Maybe the few new viewers who didn't have the backstory and who haven't been watching all of these years. Oh yeah, we get it. We've watched you.
We've literally seen it with our own eyes. Of course, and Angela, yet again, another interview that we sit through without any reference to the whole pile of bullying allegations on both sides of the Atlantic. Let's just pretend that it never happened.
Yeah. I mean, she pretends everything about herself. That's why she goes into her room, her home, and you don't hear a word for about a week or so. And then all of a sudden, she's got another idea of what's happening. And she never goes back and says, look, I'm really sorry that these people I know have been behaving badly. Never. She's always absolutely perfect. And she does think she's out of this world. More interesting, more cleverer, more beautiful than anybody else. And actually, you feel you want to throw some ice cold water over her.
Well, of course, because the ego is out of control. But Angela, the other issue is that there are so many lies in this interview, so many inconsistencies. And for folk who ask, well, why are we doing this? For me, it's because we have to prove that what the mainstream media is doing by just peddling her lies is irresponsible, because it's so easy to call them out. And one of the most obvious and the most egregious, which we now see, is that she is still keeping up this pretense that she doesn't read any of the coverage about her. Watch.
Often do you see stories, whether they're in magazines or online?
I just have created such a strong boundary for myself. And even we were like, no, but it's a good one. It's like, there was this quote that I had up in my trailer when I was on Suits, talk about being a soothsayer, or if it's divinely ordered. How on earth would this be the quote that I had printed up in my trailer? And I was on that show for almost 7 years. And it says, I've already settled it for myself, so flattery and criticism go down the same drain, and I'm quite free. And it's a very hard thing to put into action to actually integrate.
Yeah.
It wasn't about revealing her truth. It was about rewriting her image again. And the public isn't buying it anymore. Too many inconsistencies, too many lies, too many recycled pity narratives. She's been at this for years now, and the cracks are showing. Watching Meghan sit there, acting like a war survivor because she had to live in palaces and fly private, comparing herself to Diana, faking surprise over Harry's hostage quotes.
But it's become so ingrained in my mind because it was there before it actually applied to me on a level like this. I've really tried to distance myself from all of it, and that has challenges too. It does. I'm oblivious to a lot of things, but that allows me to live my life really authentically, make choices authentically. But it also allows me to be really detached from the outcome. I can just show up, I can put good work out there, I feel confident with what we've created, and then let it go. So to answer your question, maybe 1% of what's in the world I would see, and only if it's brought to me and said, you should really read this. You will learn something from it, or this is really good insight.
Now, of course, that is completely rubbish. That is completely untrue, because what we have seen now for a number of months is Meghan's social media is totally dictated by what she wants to counteract, either in the online media on shows like this, or if there is criticism in the mainstream media. But then we get to the best acting job in the entire interview. But I could see right through it, and I'm sure you'll be able to see right through it. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago, we covered it on the show, Prince Harry did a cover story with People magazine. And there was a quote about Meghan, which was like one of those hostage video quotes. I'm so proud of my wife. You knew he had to say it. You knew he hadn't written it and had been cooked up by the PR team, clearly with Meghan's say-so. Watch in this interview where Jamie Kern-Lima presents the quote to Meghan, and she pretends that she knows nothing about it.
Your husband just shared publicly for the first time. He said, I'm so happy for my wife and fully support absolutely everything she's done and continues to do.
When did he say that?
This week. It's everywhere in the press. Yeah, it's beautiful. But how does so? Okay, so you don't know this. Okay, so you're hearing you're hearing this for the first time.
That's sweet. No, she's not.
I love that you're hearing this for the first time. He says, "I'm so happy for my wife and fully supportive, and support absolutely everything she's done and continues to do." How does that make you feel?
Oh, he's such a great partner. I feel that, right? I feel that every day in how supportive he's been and is. But I didn't know he said that. So that's really nice because I think having a partner, I mean, I asked you this when you were on my podcast, like, do you think that you would have been able to get through all the no's and the challenges if you were doing it solo, if you didn't have the support of Paolo? And there's something that is not to be taken for granted when you have a partner and a spouse who is just so behind you. You know, I mean, that man loves me so much. And, you know, look what we've built. We've built a beautiful life and we have 2 healthy, beautiful children. And, you know, and I always think about it like the end of Super Mario Brothers when you get to the final level. And what's the goal in Super Mario? They're like, slay the dragon, save the princess. I'm like, that's my husband. He's just out there, just constant. Like he's just going to do whatever he can to make sure that our family is safe and protected and we're uplifted and still make time for date nights.
Angela, have you ever seen a more obvious lie in your life?
And crying about Gmail drafts of her toddlers, it was surreal. It's the ultimate Meghan paradox. Everything she says is about authenticity, but nothing she says feels authentic. She wants to be the hard-working mom, the victim of cruelty, the misunderstood heroine, the modern Diana. But every performance only exposes how scripted it all really is. If Meghan truly wanted to be relatable, she wouldn't need 90 minutes of stage flattery. She wouldn't need to recycle the same old sob stories. She wouldn't need to spin her privilege into trauma. But here we are, another truth interview, another PR disaster, another reminder that Meghan Markle's biggest problem isn't the media, the royal family, or even the public. Her biggest problem is herself.